Hi everyone, I'm Alex, and in today's video I wanted to do a test to find out which type of introvert I am. The test is called "What kind of introvert are you?" and was posted on September 29th, 2014, and it is by scientificamerican.com. So I think it may be. So without further ado, I will start, and I encourage you to do this test with me, so it will be linked in the description down below. So let's start. The first thing we see is some explanations. So we are going down, and then we have a test. So what kind of introvert are you? Putting together a large number of contemporary tests of personality, Grimes, Cheek, Julie Norham, and Courtney Brown created the STAR test to measure 4 kinds of introversion. To figure out your primary introverted type, take this online test. To find out where you stand on each of the 4 meanings of introversion, answer the following questions by deciding to what extent each item is characteristic of your feelings and behavior. Fill in the blank next to each item by choosing a number from the following scale. So we have the scale that is 1 equals very uncharacteristic or untrue, strongly disagree, 2 uncharacteristic, 3 neutral, 4 characteristic, and 5 very characteristic or true, strongly agree. So from what I can see, I cannot write the answers in the line, so I have to take something to write my answers down. A small piece of paper and pencil, and we're getting into it. Okay, so the first one is social introversion. And the first question is, I like to share special occasions with just one person or a few close friends rather than have big celebrations. I would say yes. I like to celebrate in a small circle of friends, so I would give it a 5. So social introversion, number 1, and I'm giving it a 5. The second one, I think it would be satisfying if I could have very close friendships with many people. I don't need many people to have close friendships with, so I'm giving it a 1. Because it's better to have, for me, it's better to have a few close friends that you can rely on than having a lot of friends that you have close relationships with and you have to care about those relationships. So I don't really have that much time and energy to share every part of my life with every friend I have. So that's why I have only a few close friends that I really cherish, and I'm thankful for them. Okay, the third question is, I try to structure my day so that I always have some time to myself. Definitely. I definitely like having some time for myself, just to recharge, just to gain energy for the next day. Okay, the fourth question. I like to vacation in places where there are a lot of people around and a lot of activities going on. Not really. But I like seeing other people having fun unless they want me to join them. So I would give it a 4 just because I like it. I don't necessarily like crowds, but sometimes I want to be like a part of the crowd, you know, so I am not the person that is the most visible, you know what I mean? So for the fourth one, I would give it Let's give it a 4. Let's give it a 4. Okay. I will be trying to not give a lot of neutral scores. Okay. Right. The 5th question. After spending a few hours surrounded by a lot of people, I am usually eager to get away by myself. Yes. So I'm giving it a 5. 6th. I do not have a strong need to be around other people. I do not. So I agree. So 5. 7. Just being around others and finding out about them is one of the most interesting things I can think of doing. No. No. I care about myself and about my close friends and close family. Being around others. I don't care about your life. I'm sorry. If you're not a close friend, I don't care. I really don't care. I just don't have the capacity in my brain to care about more people than I have to. So I'm giving it just being around. So I'm giving it a no. So let's go with 2. I'm giving it a 2. I mean, sometimes I like small talk, but it's very unusual for me, and yeah, sometimes it's nice to get to know people more, but not to such an extent to treat them as my close friends. Okay. 8. I usually prefer to do things alone. I would say that usually is the key word here, and I usually do prefer to do things alone, so I'm giving it a 5 or 4. Actually, I would give it a 4 because there are some things that I like doing in pairs or in group, because then I don't have to do everything. But if I work in a group, I tend to be the person that wants to have everything organized, and I am kind of becoming a leader of the group. This is kind of natural for me, so I'm giving it a 4. So 8 is 4. 9. Other people tend to misunderstand me, forming a mistaken impression of what kind of person I am because I don't say much about myself. Yes, I would say so. Especially in high school, when I met my whole class. It's different when you go to university, but in high school, I remember my friends telling me that they thought I am a different person just because I didn't say much about myself, or I didn't speak much at all. So I'm giving it a 4, a solid 4. And 10. I feel drained after social situations, even when I enjoyed myself. Most probably, yes. Even if I enjoyed myself, I tend to be more hyped up after such situations, and then I cannot sleep at night. Might be my insomnia, but I don't know. And yeah, I would say I feel drained after social situations, especially when there are a lot of people talking, when there are a lot of ideas, when there are a lot of emotions, a lot of engagement. Yeah, so I'm also giving it a 4. Okay, the next category is thinking introversion. So I'm writing it down. This is thinking. And the first question is, I enjoy analyzing my own thoughts and ideas about myself. Analyzing ideas about myself. What? What is this even? No, I don't think so. No, I would say it's uncharacteristic, so I'm giving it a 2. And second one, I have a rich, complex inner life. And I believe so. So I'm giving it a 5. I frequently think about what kind of person I am. Not frequently. I think about it sometimes, not often. So I'm giving it a 2. So 3 is 2. 4. When I am reading an interesting story or novel, or when I am watching a good movie, I imagine how I would feel if the events in the story were happening to me. Almost never. Yeah, almost never, because when I watch a film, I know it's a fictional. Even if it happens in the real world, films are made to entertain us. Most of the films. So I would give it a 1. So 4 is 1. 5. I seldom think about myself. I cannot say that. I'm into self-development and self-care, so I do think about myself. So I'm giving it a 1 because it's I seldom think, so I'm giving it a 1, which is completely uncharacteristic, so 5 is 1. 6. I generally pay attention to my inner feelings. Generally, yes. I think so. So 6, I would give it a 5. 7. I value my personal self-evaluation, that is, the private opinion I have of myself. I value my... Yes? What is this question? Yes. Yes, I value it. What? Okay, 5. 8. I sometimes step back in my mind in order to examine myself from a distance. Never. I don't even know what is that about. I would say I'm never doing it, so that's a 1. 9. I daydream and fantasize with some regularity about things that might happen to me. I used to do that, but not regularly, so I don't do it anymore, so I'm giving it 1 or 2. Let's give it a 2. Let's give it a 2, because if it happens to me sometimes and I just don't remember it now, then I would be lying, so that's a 2. And 10. I am inclined to be introspective, that is, to analyze myself. What is inclined? It's like I used to. Inclined. Oh, yeah. To analyze myself. In what way? Does it mean that I'm thinking about it too much? Maybe. Yeah, let's give it a 4. Yeah, let's give it a 4. That's cool. Anxious introversion. I was reading about those types a bit, and I don't think I am the anxious introvert. If I do agree with any of those, it happens sometimes. I believe we are a mix. I've heard some people saying that we are a mix of those. If you are an introvert, then you are a mix of all of those types, but some of them might be dominant in your personality. So anxious introversion. And the first question is the first statement. When I enter a room, I often become self-conscious and feel that the eyes of others are upon me. Kind of. Yeah, kind of, yes. It depends how confident I feel when I walk into a room, and it depends on what I imagined the situation to be. So I would give it a 4. The second one, my thoughts are often focused on episodes of my life that I wish I'd stop thinking about. Sometimes. It's rare. I would give it a neutral, actually, but I don't want to give it a neutral. So I have to think about it more. My thoughts are often focused. Are often focused. They are not often focused. So I'm giving it a 2. Yeah. I'm fighting with thoughts about anything. Okay, so I'm giving it a 2. Okay, solid 2. So I don't really agree with that. Or do I? Episodes. No, I don't. Okay, the third one. My nervous system sometimes feels so frazzled that I just have to get off by myself. I don't know what that means. Frazzled. Okay. Sometimes feel so frazzled. It happens to me very rarely. Yeah. So it's not sometimes, it's rarely. So another 2, I would say. So 3, and I'm giving it a 2. 4, I'm confident about my social skills. No, not really. Again, depends on what I imagined the situation to be, because when I have to go somewhere, then I have to imagine how it looks like, and then I become confident because I see myself in the situation. So confident about my social skills. I would say I don't have social skills, but this means I shouldn't be accepted in the society. So I am more confident about my social skills after I finish my university. So I'm gonna say it's a 4. I am confident when I have to be. So I'm giving a 4 for that. Okay, 5th question. Defeat or disappointment usually shame or anger me, but I try not to show it. No. Well, defeat happens, disappointment happens, but they don't shame or anger me. Those are normal emotions, normal things happening in our life. So I would say 2. Yeah. 6. It doesn't take me long to overcome my shyness in new situations. It doesn't take me long. It takes me quite long, but the concept of length is different for everyone. So it does not take me long, and I'm saying it does take me quite long. So I'm disagreeing with this, so I'm giving it another 2. So 6 is 2. Okay. 7, I feel relaxed even in unfamiliar social situations? No. So that's a 1. 7, 1. 8. Even when I am in a group of friends, I often feel very alone and uneasy. Sometimes. Yes. I don't know if that's my general opinion about myself, but I do feel very different from my groups of friends, and I do feel quite alone when I talk, or rather when other people are talking and I don't talk because I don't really identify with all of the things that they are saying. So yes, I often feel very yes. So that's 5. 8 is 5. 9. My secret thoughts, feelings and actions would horrify some of my friends. Horrify? Why? No, really? No, I don't agree with that. So that's a 1. Completely no, not. Okay, 10. I feel painfully self-conscious when I'm around strangers. Self-conscious. When I'm around strangers, but that is, I feel painfully self-conscious. I would give it a neutral, but I don't want to give it a neutral. Am I self-conscious around strangers? What is the opposite of not being not being self-conscious? Oh, it also says it's like shy. So self-conscious also equals shy. Yes. But not painfully. But again, yeah, I would give it a neutral. What can I do? Around strangers, yes, I'm shy. Okay, so let's go with 4. So 10 is 4. Okay. Not thinking anymore about this. And restrained introversion. And I think this is the type that I do identify the most with. So let's see. Restraint. The first one. I like to be off and running as soon as I wake up in the morning. No. I like slow mornings. Yeah, so I don't agree. It's a 1. Second, I'll try anything once. Yes. If I set my mind to it, I do want to try everything. Anything once. So yeah. Maybe not like bungee jumping, something like that. So that says anything. So I'm giving it a 4 because I don't really like bungee jumping, something like that. So 2, I'm giving it a 4. There are a lot of things I want to try at least once just to I don't know, get experience or just to know how it feels. 3, for relaxation, I like to slow down and take things easy. Yes. Yes. Okay, so 3 is 5. 4, I like to wear myself out with exertion. I completely do not understand this one. I'm sorry. English is not my first language. I don't understand it. Exertion. I like to wear myself out with exertion. You mean like exercises? Not a fan of that. I like to be positively exhausted after doing a good workout, but not to be like, dead after it. So I would say I like to wear myself out. No. So that is a, what is it? 4. I'm giving it a 2. So I don't really like it. 5. I often say the first thing that comes into my head. I don't do it because I'm an honest person, and if someone doesn't know me, they might think I am rude. So I'm not doing that. Unless I'm with my close friends, then I do tell everything that comes to my mind. Yeah, so I'm giving it another 2. 6. I generally seek new and exciting experiences and sensations. I generally do not seek exciting experience. No. So generally, and I'm saying no, so it's a 1. Yeah, I would give it a 1. Okay. 7. I like to keep busy all the time. No, I want some time for myself. So that's a 1. 7 is 1. 8. I often act on the spur of the moment. Often? I sometimes do act like that. Just sometimes, when I feel it's right. So it's not often. So I'm giving it a 2. Yeah. 8 is 2. 9. I sometimes do crazy things just to be different. What? I sometimes do crazy things just to be different. Is recording on YouTube a crazy thing? No. But it's just crazy. So what are those things? Like, which type of crazy are we talking about? Not really, no. So I'm giving it a 2. And 10, the last question. I often feel sluggish. I don't understand the word sluggish. I sometimes feel like that, but I do not, but I do accept that this is my type of personality, that I am quite slow while doing some things. I am not slow when it comes to thinking, but I am slow when it comes to doing something. So I wouldn't say it's often, so that's a 2. So 10 is 2. How do you do to find out your score for each of the 4 kinds of introversion? Recode the following reverse worded items. 1 equals 5, 2 equals 4, 4 equals 2, 5 equals 1. Social introversion items 2, 4, and 7. So for 2, 4, and 7, for 2, I answered 1. So 1 is 5. For 4, I answered 4, so that's a 2. And for 7, I answered 2, so that's a 4. So the score is 9, 10, 11. So the score is 11. Okay, thinking introversion item 5. For thinking and 5, I answered 1, so 1 is 5, so the score is 5. Anxious introversion items 4, 6, and 7. For 4, I answered 4, so that's a 2. For 6, I answered 2, so that's a 4. And for 7, I answered 1, so that is 5. So we have again 11. And restrained introversion items 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. For one, I answered 1, so that is 5. For a second, I answered 4, so that is 2. For fourth one, I answered 2, so that is 4. For fifth one, I answered 2, so that is 4. Sixth, I answered 1, so that is 5. 7, I answered 1, so that is again 5. 8, I said 2, so that is 4. And 9, I also said 2, so that is another 4. And that gives me too much. What is that? 33. That's a lot. Okay. So next, add together all the numbers to come up with a total score. Yeah, I guessed it. Here's a guide of how you score compared to others in the general population. Social introversion below 24, low. I have 11, so it is low. Thinking introversion, how can it be below 28 if they gave me just one answer to recode? It said thinking introversion item 5, and I have 5 points there as the final score. So why does it say below 28? I am obviously below 28. Something is wrong. I don't know. Anxious introversion below 23, I have 11, so it's low. And restrained introversion around 31 is average, and above 37 is high, so I'm in the average because I had 33. So this is what I expected. This is basically what I expected. This alternative way of assessing introversion is not likely to be embraced by Big 5 personality researchers, but if it offers you a more satisfying personally meaningful way to glean insight into your unique personality, feel free to throw a Big 5 framework out the window. Okay. I guess it's the end. Let me know in the comments below what you got, because I got the restrained introversion from what I can see, and this is what I suspected, basically. So if you are doing the test with me, let me know in the comments what you got. And I guess this is the end of the video. I just wanted to find out which type of introvert I am. So restrained introversion, okay, I will be reading more on that in my private time. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!